In this video, we're going to be greasing my whole front end, including the slide pins and going through all the little bits that I do to keep everything running nice and smooth. Let's get into it. Judge in there.
Oh, we don't have to do those.
Well, I guess we could. I don't know. What do you think? This is like the grease pocket.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Fair.
The ones that lose grease, it's the ball doinks and then the Apex chassis kit because Apex's boots are junk. The Axle Seal O-ring grease gun prevent mate.
Worse than your grease gun spontaneously greasing the inside of your tube blocks. Don't need that.
All right, everything is very clean.
Thank you. Yes. Hold on. I was gonna say about that. So, what was your theory about the whole like even having Zerk fittings? Because I basically have Zerk fittings on
everything.
Everything.
Yeah, which I tend to agree with. But if you don't clean the Zerk fittings before you grease your stuff, all that dirt that's accumulated on the grease left over from last time you greased it, you're just going to push into the joint. So my theory is that if you're lazy, you're better off honestly just getting like ball joints and things that don't have Zerk fittings on them, because if you're not going to clean them thoroughly, when you go to grease them next, you're going to be pushing in basically debris that will like eat at / scratch / wear down your like ball socket joints faster. So my theory is if you're lazy, you actually would wear out a set of ball joints faster if they had Zerk fittings.
No.
It's a theory.
It's a good thing we're not lazy.
It's a good
That's
thing.
most of the time. I usually clean them before always, but there's maybe been at least once where I haven't, so.
Yeah, that's fair.
Need new ball joints.
Contaminated, throw it all out.
Put a new in.
Need to film because it's easier to get close on stuff, but then the whole video is just awkwardly close. It's hard to like talk to the camera.
I don't ever do 3 pushes in these. I mean, theories on whether more or less.
Just do like 37.
37.
I
Yeah,
don't
see,
know.
I got lit up when I was complaining about these boots ripping, and someone was like, you over-greased. And I'm like, definitely putting 3 shots of grease in is not
That's not
over-greasing.
overgreasing. I feel like I tend to put like, I'll put them in until I see some come out, and that's probably overgreasing. Like it's not a piece of construction equipment.
Right.
I've also, this is something I don't understand, and I don't think it's true. I think those ball joints were just shitty. Is I actually greased something so hard I broke the ball joint after I installed it.
Interesting.
But my theory is that ball joint was fucked from the beginning. Like it was a low quality job.
Right.
Because the grease shouldn't make it pop out of its socket. The grease should flow around it and come out the boot.
Right. If it was
Actually
properly
fucking decent. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're over greasing. Boots break because they're shitty. In fact, I think I have a broken boot somewhere in my front end too. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that how much grease you put in it. Just leaves like a shitty compound or bad retainers.
I need to go get that little shim wad thing to do the inside.
pan leak. Throw it away.
Throw it away. I mean, you can see where I scrubbed it away, but there hasn't really been any new leakage, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Fucking run it.
Fucking run it.
Toilets are us. It's self-undercoating. I forget who said that. I think that's a Reeseism.
Oh, for sure.
Ooh, there's the grease fitting I was looking for. See, I grease these and...
Probably stop greasing this one.
Nah, it'll keep it from squeaking.
Don't want to get any dirt in there. Things not blown apart or anything. Definitely clean it. Keep it from squeaking. I'm dead.
I should probably, if we're going to do these, I should probably just get new dust seals again, too. Dust seals! Regular maintenance item every
Would you
50K.
have to? Like,
Well, I mean,
maybe.
in order to pry them out, right? Because that's what holds the axle in place. Because don't we have to, like, hammer it out, and then if you bend it,
Yeah, that's true.
it's like to take the
New
axle
dust
out.
seals. Honestly, that's the worst part of this hub design is the fucking spin seal. Who came up with that sealed spin? What the fuck is that about?
Hey, stop turning that.
Sorry.
Put it back. Perfect. It's interesting that like one went over the other, and I feel like it's literally just probably just from chilling in here, and like I grease these every oil change, but I wonder if they just fucking
It's weird to me that that went, unless it was just a low quality joint to start with. Because you don't use it.
No.
They just sit there and bounce.
Unless I wasn't like pushing enough grease into it. I don't know. It's a tough one.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm not stoked about. My new axle's base. It's slightly older than this one, but same concept.
Right.
Has the unit bearings, etc.
Alright, I gotta figure out how to do this top one. We need the old shim ski. Yeah, usually here.
I don't know why I'm trying to do everything laying down. I'm being a fucking AirPod right now.
Is it in?
Undetermined. Seems like it.
Give it a squanch.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you when the grease is coming out. Alright, that looks probably good. There's a little bit popping. On out, bitch. I found I put my thumb behind it and just like
Oh nice.
give her a little push.
Give it a winch.
Give it a winch. So what would you say, I mean, greasing front end, I usually do my, like, all the grease fittings, every oil change. I think that's kind of a good practice, but like slide pins, what do you think? Like,
I mean, realistically, I feel like you could do them halfway through your brakes life is probably reasonable.
right, like once.
So we're like a little early right now, but it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt anything to do them more.
Since we have the front end
Since
kind of
we're already this far, and they don't take that long. But realistically, I feel like every, I don't know how long your brakes last on these things, like 100,000 miles.
Yeah, about.
Probably like every 50K you could do it. Because if you don't do it, if you wait and do it every brake change, I mean, you can get away with that, but they might stick at some point, and then you'll eat your brakes faster than you expect.
Right.
So, for the sake of brake longevity, you might do every 50. And sometimes it's nice. Well, actually, I'm going to wait just a second. It's kind of nice to pry the it off just a smidge. To back off the pistons just a little bit with a screwdriver or something, so it's easier to get the caliper off.
Right.
And that's all we're doing. We're just taking the caliper off. Not really adjusting anything. So like right now the caliper is loose, but as you can see it didn't go literally anywhere, and that's because it still has some tension on it. And so I'm going to go ahead and just gently, very gently, put a little pressure on the pistons. I basically didn't do anything right there, because you'll see like right here, there we go, it gets a little stuck. It's a good idea to have something handy to
Oh, this little hook ski.
hang it up with. Yeah, can be, honestly, getting a set of these if you're going to touch your brakes is so nice. And then these, here we go, this is your slide pin, they just kind of pull right out. Whoop. And that's how you can tell it's like still fine, is because they actually move nicely. If it's seized, you'll know because it won't come out.
Makes sense.
And then when you go to grease them, just wipe them off so they're clean. I like to use some Sil Glide, but you could use regular all grease as well. That'd be fine. Any lubricant. You get it on here good. You don't want to go crazy. If you go nuts and you put a lot of grease, especially like on the end, then when you go to press it in, you'll be fighting hydraulic forces.
Ah, interesting.
Yes. It'll start to act like a piston. It's time to lick the gummy bears. The gummy bears.
Yeah, that's crazy. How well? So that was, so the truck's at 193, we did it at 146. So that was.
Yeah, and you want to poke your head in here real
That
quick?
was like.
Look at the pads while your caliper's off and really see.
Jeez, so that's like 40,000 miles, and they're still thick as fork.
They look great. Honestly, there you go. It's a tribute to Duralast Gold brake pads.
Duralast Gold pads and rotors.
Grr.
Bunch of junk.
Bunch of junk indeed. I mean, I don't think this is a bad. What interval are we doing this at? It's like 40,000?
40,000.
Yeah, so 50,000 would be good. That's a good interval.
Yeah.
Because that's probably right about when they start to get close to being like, I'm going to seize. You're like, nerd. And then when you put it back on, you just got to make sure your slide pins aren't in the way.
Meaning what?
Because if you try to put the caliper back on and they're like
the
sticking
pins are
out,
sticking out.
they'll be like, why isn't it working?
Because you're running the nut into the back of the slide pin.
Correct.
Interesting. Sweet. I really didn't want to have to replace them because then we have to take the freaking axle out again and do the whole. But maybe we should. Ah! So I had a suspicion that I had a front U-joint that was loose because I had some rattling. Can't focus. Hold on, let me switch it to manual. Oh yeah. Dude, the amount of play and like even on the greasy side is like
Crazy.
yeah, balls. Well,
Totally fine.
just run it for now.
Sure.